Northridge City Council meeting is now in session. Today's Monday, May 16th, 2022. We rise for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Father, as always, we thank you for the wonderful community in which we live and for the opportunity to represent it as its city council. Thank you, especially this week during National Police Week, for all the men and women of the Northridge Police Department, their continued hard work, dedication, and commitment to preserving peace and protecting all the people of Northridge. We're grateful to be among the safest cities in the United States, and as a result of their efforts, we ask you to guide and protect them as they carry out their duties. We pray these things in your name. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Here.
Booth. Here. Havens. Here. Wingo.
Here.
Haywick.
Here.
Reese. Here. Jacobs.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Service director.
Here.
Law director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Auditor.
Here.
Clerk of council. Here.
Okay, today before us, we have the city council meeting minutes dated May 2nd, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, those minutes are approved as submitted. Also presented were the special city council meeting minutes dated May 9th, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Okay, hearing none, those minutes are also approved as submitted. Please note, council has also been provided with the Utilities Committee meeting minutes dated April 18th, 2022. The Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes dated March 23rd, 2022, and the Planning Commission and Building and Lands Committee work session minutes dated May 10th. 2022. That brings us to our lobby session. This time we will open the lobby session to allow the public an opportunity to address council or the city administration. Anybody who wishes to speak will be asked to speak from the podium and begin by stating your name and address for the record, at which time you will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. So the lobby session is now open. Is there anybody who would like to address council or the administration this evening? Sir. Again, if you could just start by stating your name and address for the record, and then your 3 minutes to begin.
Albert Craig, 4793 Sugar Ridge Road. You know me. Came up to, we still got the truck problem in our neighborhood. It's still ongoing. There doesn't seem to be a very aggressive approach being done about it. It's several neighborhoods through our street, through our city. And you just watch, everybody watch the roads, they're just crumbling more and more. It's just that we don't see an aggressive approach on this at all. I mean, very little in our neighborhood. So I got a lot of pictures that I took just from this week. It's very surprising, the trucks that just roll through our neighborhood with, disregard and without any repercussions going through our neighborhoods. I can go down a lot of streets in this city, and there's always a truck going down Lorraine Road, Wood Road, somewhere it's not supposed to be. I went down Learnagle, I was in the Learnagle neighborhood 2 days ago. There was an ABC supply truck, the size of a semi truck, giant flatbed it was probably 3/4 of the way loaded up with several tons of shingles with a crane on it. That truck came off Lorraine Road and took Learnagle all the way to Avon, probably the Route 2. That thing barely even stayed between the lines between Mills and Center Ridge Road. And you see how bad Learnagle's tore up. I'm sure, who knows how often that goes on. My neighborhood this morning, between 7 a.m. and 8:45, we already had a dozen trucks come through our neighborhood. Everything. It's coming every day. It's just every day, nonstop. And these truck drivers, there's no repercussions for it. Many of them are just going through. I got a lot of pictures here just from our neighborhood. And I don't know why, after all these years of saying something about this, there ain't a bigger push for this. More signs, more targeting areas, something. something's gotta give, because us taxpayers are really gonna be putting a big bill here pretty soon. To repair to destroy roads in the city, not to mention who's gonna get killed and what kind of property damage is gonna be incurred pretty soon. Because it's just like, everybody just seems to want to just sweep this under the rug. We're staring at it every day, 5 days a week, a lot of times on Saturday mornings too. I got pictures for you, Mr. Mayor, of what happened, of a lot of the traffic went through our neighborhood this week. I'd like to give to you. But, and take for heart, I mean, really look at these things. These are big trucks. These ain't little things coming through our neighborhoods. I don't want to see someone killed. With the gas prices going up, I'm gonna be riding my bike more. A lot of other people, there's a lot more bikes starting to go down our road. You know, I hate to see someone get sucked into the side of a truck. They're gonna die, flat out. There's no surviving it. You know, and we're still having, you know, and there's trucks still flying through our road. There's an Enterprise truck repeatedly comes through our neighborhood. He ain't going no slower than 50 miles an hour. I can say that. And he's like every 2 or 3 days comes through. No one's stopped him. And all these pictures, none of these trucks got stopped. Nobody. We just need a more aggressive approach on this stuff. We can't just let it slide no more. All I gotta say, I'm gonna give you these pictures right now.
Great, thanks for taking the time to be here this evening to share your concerns with us. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like an opportunity to speak?
I'd like to say a few more afterwards.
Okay. We'll close the lobby session and move on to the administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. On tonight's agenda, under third readings, I'll be requesting the emergency passage on T67, which is the ordinance cooperating with ODOT to replace the bridge deck and parapets on State Route 83, which crosses over State Route 10. There is a deadline of June 1st for that. And then other than that, I think we would like to have the resolutions amending the tax abatement reinvestment areas passed with the emergency as well. That would be T80 and T81. We have the auditor's ordinances as well, which I'm sure she'll be happy to bring up. There are small business grants available. The application deadline is May 27th. It is through Lorain County. The county has earmarked $3 million to assist small businesses that have been negatively impacted or faced hardship due to COVID-19 and its related effects. You can visit our website at enridgeville.org for more information on qualifications and how to apply for those grants. Again, that deadline is May 27th. There is a coffee and conversation scheduled for May 20th. That is this coming Friday at 8:30 here in Council Chambers. Stop on by for that event. There is a Memorial Day parade, a memorial service that'll be taking place on Monday, May 30th. The parade will begin at 9:45 at the Senior Center and travel down Bainbridge, conclude at Ranger Stadium with the memorial service in association with the North Ridgeville Lions Club at VFW Post 9871. For more information, contact the Lions Club Parade Director, Dennis Booz, our own Dennis Booz, here at 440-327-8528. Because of Memorial Day, City Hall will be closed, and that means Republic Services will also be delaying garbage collection that week. So on May 30th, City Hall is closed, trash collection will be a day late. And that means trash collection will be on Wednesday, June 1st, citywide. As always now, it is bulk pickup day. Freedom Festival and fireworks. The city will be co-sponsoring this year's Freedom Festival and fireworks event with Pepco Elyria. The event, as has been happening over the last couple of years, will be at Victory Park, Ohio on Sunday, July 3rd. Gates open at 5 p.m. with activities, entertainment, food and beverages, and fireworks are going. Those fireworks are supposed to start approximately at 10 p.m. Tickets are per vehicle, and remember there are donations that go as a result of that purchase. The tickets can be purchased online in advance only by visiting victoryparkohio.com. Early bird pricing is available through May 31st, so get your tickets early. As I mentioned, the net proceeds benefit North Ridgeville Community Care and Canine Superheroes Foundation. In 2021, Victory Park, Ohio presented North Ridgeville Community Care with a check in the amount of $7,500, and we hope that this year is even better. There is on Saturday, June 4th, Touch a Truck event, and that is the North Ridgeville Parks and Recreation sponsored event. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Shady Drive Complex. This is a free event. You can get up close and personal with all types of big trucks and emergency vehicles. I know our sewer back was out there. Our sewer operator was playing around with his hat and getting it sucked off his head, which is always a good time to see. I'm glad he didn't get his head sucked off. That would be horrific for the little kids, but you get to climb around on those trucks and sit in the driver's seat. And because the horns and sirens are a little much, the first 2 hours of the event will be a sensory-friendly event without the lights, sirens, and horns. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Safety Servicer.
No report this evening.
Here.
Good evening. Thank you, Council President. I got a little bit of a list today. It's been a little while since I've given an update on a lot of different projects. So here we go. So tomorrow we're opening up our full depth pavement rehabilitation bids, May 17th. So I'll have a further update on that at our next council meeting on who the low bidder was. We did press previous ordinance that did give these street names. I don't know them off the top of my head. The previous ordinance. So that'll be happening tomorrow. Current projects in design, we have Eastview Sanitary Sewer Extension, Sugar Ridge Road Sanitary Sewer Extension, Bears Road realignment at Stony Ridge, Chestnut Ridge Road at State Route 83 Roundabout. And I'm going to go into some project updates. Our Mills Road, Stony Ridge Road, and Avalon Drive Peanut Roundabout. Our right-of-way acquisition has begun. The city is in negotiations currently with multiple property owners for the necessary right-of-way needed for the project. One parcel negotiation has been completed to date. There are 3 other properties that the city's consultant is currently working through negotiations with to obtain. The city is hopeful to come to an agreement with all property owners within the next 30 days. Center Ridge Road Sanitary Sewer. Construction continues on Center Ridge Road Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. The project has approximately 50 feet left of the main line sanitary sewer to install. A crew has been installing the main line. A second crew has been installing sanitary sewer laterals to each individual property. And once that last 50 feet is installed, both crews will continue to install sanitary sewer laterals until all work is complete. And once all those laterals are installed, all crews will then move into road repairs for the remainder of the project. So we're moving right along there. So like I said, with the full depth concrete pavement, we're opening that tomorrow. Work should begin on that project in mid to late June. If those bids come back favorable with what's going on out there in the industry right now, we're hoping that those bids do come back favorable. If not, we'll have to adjust our schedule and adjust our project. So we're hoping for the best on that. Mills Creek Water Main Rehabilitation, Northeast Ohio Trenching Service has begun installing a new 8-inch water main along Mills Road just west of Mills Creek Lane last week. This new 8-inch main will connect into the new 6-inch water mains along Scotch Pine Way, Red Pine Way, Spruce Pine Way, and White Pine Way to remove dead end water mains from the city's distribution system. This work will help aid in reducing pressure spikes within that system and also provide better water quality for that area of the system. And then our water asset management plan, work has begun on our water asset management plan with our consultant, OHM Advisors. At this point, the city is gathering and sharing as much information as possible with our consultant about the water distribution system. Per the developed schedule, the first order of business will be to evaluate all the assets in the system and define an acceptable level of service going forward. Those exercises will aid in the development of future capital improvement programs, as well as then rate structures as well. I will continue to update council as we move through this process planning effort. Our GIS system, the city has been delivered a draft version of our new GIS web portal. The engineering service and IT departments will continue to work with the consultant to add data to the system, as well as develop applications and tools for our departmental use. Having a central location for our city's infrastructure data is key to proactive versus reactive maintenance and or rehabilitation for our assets. So the new system looks really good. There's just some kinks that we have to work out of it. Once we get to a point where everything is in working order, we may share static maps on our websites of things that are out there. With our Mills Creek Conservation and Flood Control Project, Ohio Erie Excavating LLC has begun to mobilize equipment to Mill Creek Conservation Flood Control Project site north of Boulder Drive. Tree removal is scheduled to begin on May 22nd. The tree removal will take approximately 8 weeks according to the contractor schedule, and the completion date for the project is July 31st, 2022. And that completes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Engineer. Sauter?
Thank you, Council President. Before council tonight is T85, a resolution authorizing the execution of vending mile certificates, and T86, an appropriation amendment. I'd like to ask council to consider adopting this legislation tonight with the emergency clause to allow the auditor's office the necessary resources to meet our financial obligations. Thank you.
Please note the auditor has also prepared and submitted the April 2022 financial report. And under other reports, we have the March 2022 Parks Director report, the April 2022 Building Department report, the April 2022 Fire Department report, the April 2022 Water Distribution and EPA report, and the April 2022 Mayor's Court report. Brings us to recess.
President,
Who does best recess?
Second.
It's moved by Winkle and seconded by DeVries to dispense with recess. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Say no. Okay, we will move on to first readings. T79.
T79, 2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids and enter into contract according to law and in manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the 2022 traffic paint, striping, and other appurtenances not to exceed $100,000.
Mr. Mayor, is this one time sensitive at all?
Mr. Engineer, you want to jump in there?
Through the chair, not today, at a later date maybe, but give it a couple readings.
T80.
T80, 2022, a resolution amending resolutions number 1476-2020, which approved and ratified an application for tax incentive community reinvestment area number 14, created by the city of North Ridgeville, resolution number 768-94, and subsequent amendments thereto for Isonoma Group Incorporated, a corporation organized and existing under the laws of the state of Ohio.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings for T80.
Second.
It's moved by the mayor and seconded by Booth to dispense with the second and third readings for T80. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause. That way we can process this ordinance in the manner it should be.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Booth to add the emergency clause to T80. The reason stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Booth to adopt T80 with the emergency clause in place. This time, are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President, I'd just like to point out for both T80 and T81, these are tax abatements that we put in place for these two businesses, and the construction of these businesses did not work out the way that the original agreements were set up. And so what we're doing is we're matching up the agreements with the construction. For example, this one, both of them, the county comes out on January 1st, and if the business is not 50% complete on that date, then they don't put the value on it that it should have that would trigger the abatement to go into effect. So, I know on this one, we have the date for this year. On the next one, T81, we have it for next year. It's just the way the county comes out and does their work, it doesn't work out with the agreements that were in place, and so we're changing them to match up.
Are there any other additional comments or questions? So I guess we'll call the roll. We already done it.
Swain,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries. Yes. Jacob.
Yeah.
The motion carries unanimously. It becomes resolution number 1567-2022.
T81.
T81-2022, a resolution amending resolution number 1461-2019, which approved and ratified an application for tax incentive in community reinvestment area number 14, created by the city of North Ridgeville, resolution number 76894, and subsequent amendments thereto for Young Explorers Montessori LLC, a limited liability company organized and existing under the laws of the state of Ohio.
Mr. President, move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It's moved by Mayor and seconded by Avery to dispense with the second and third readings for T81. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for the same reasons as stated under T8.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Avens to add the emergency clause to T81 for the reasons stated by the mayor. That emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Avens to adopt T81 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries. Yes. Jacob.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. It becomes resolution number 1568-2022.
T82.
T82-2022, a resolution amending resolution number 1548-2021, which authorized the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to enter into a cooperative agreement with Lorraine County for the replacement of Case Road Bridge 83 and the adjacent retaining wall by increasing the city's portion of this project from $56,630 to $100,000.
Mr. President, just so you know that the cost of this project has increased, which is why we're coming back on this. Obviously, the project is underway, but we are going to hold off on the emergency clause on this for at least another meeting.
T83.
T83-2022, an ordinance accepting certain street improvements located in the reserve at Winfield Farm subdivision, Phase 2, and dedicating them for public purposes.
T84.
T84-2022, an ordinance amending the penalty section of NRCO, section 432-30, stopping for school bus.
T84 will be referred to the safety committee. T85.
T85-2022, a resolution to authorize the execution of the then and now certificates by the fiscal officer and the payment amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Agrees.
Second, third reading.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries, seconded by Boost to dispense with the second and third readings for T 85. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
motion to adopt. Second. Motion to add the emergency clause to address the time-sensitive nature in which to get these paid, as stated by the auditor.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Boost to add the emergency clause to T 85 for the reasons stated by Mr. DeVries. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was then moved by DeVries and seconded by Boost to adopt T 85 with the emergency clause in place. Is there any questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Becomes resolution number 1569-2022.
T 86.
T 86-2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5889-2021 of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
motion to dispense with the second and third reading. Second.
It was moved by DeVries, seconded by Boost to dispense with the second and third readings for T 86. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
President, motion to adopt. Second. Motion to add the emergency clause, for reasons stated earlier by the auditor. Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Boost to add the emergency clause to T 86 for the reasons stated earlier by the auditor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was then moved by DeVries and seconded by Boost to adopt T 86 with the emergency clause in place. At this time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5950-2022.
All right, on to second readings. We have T 57.
57-2022, an ordinance repealing section 660.12 fences of the North Ridgeville General Offenses Code.
T 58.
T58-2022, an ordinance amending the various sections of chapter 1294 supplementary regulations of the North Ridgeville zoning code in order to update the city's fence regulations.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Reese.
take a moment to recognize Shane Taylor from the building department. He's the one who originally brought this to my attention, T 57 and T 58. Working with him as well as Guy Thurston, chief building inspector, as well as Kim Weaver, we were able to put this together, having meetings, and it went pretty smooth. So I just want to say thank you for bringing this to our attention. We noticed there were a lot of people coming into the Board of Zoning to have things approved. Thank you.
Thank you for your involvement. T 64.
T64-2022, an ordinance supplementing North Ridgeville Codified Ordinance 1046 water.
Third readings, T 53.
T53-2022, an ordinance authorizing the execution of then and now certificates by the city fiscal officer and the payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. White.
move to adopt.
We've moved by Swank and seconded by Boost to adopt T 53.
Move to add the emergency clause to T 53.
It's moved by the mayor and seconded by Boost to add the emergency clause to T 53.
The reason being, we've been discussing this issue for a long time. We can eliminate the use of the emergency clause
So we'll use it one time to kind of make that happen a bit faster.
All right. That note, all in favor say yes. All opposed say no. It was then moved by Swink and seconded by Boost to adopt T53 with the emergency clause in place. This time, are there any final comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5951-2022.
T65.
T65-2022, an ordinance repealing and replacing NRCO Chapter 264 Civil Service Commission.
Mr. President. I
Yes,
move
Mr.
to
David.
adopt. Second.
It was moved by Awig and seconded by Swink to adopt T65. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. It becomes ordinance number 5952 of 2022.
T67.
T67-2022, PID number 102703, project name Lorraine State Route 83, 10.79. An ordinance cooperating with the Director of the Ohio Department of Transportation to replace the bridge deck and parapets of Lorraine State Route 83, 10.79, which crosses over State Route 10 with the city of North Ridgeville.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Booth.
make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, make a motion to add the emergency so that we can meet the June 1st deadline.
Second.
It was moved by Booth, seconded by Avens to add the emergency clause to T65 in order to meet the June 1st deadline. On that emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed?
It's T67.
Oh.
You said T65.
You're right, I did. So for the emergency clause for T67, in order to meet the deadline of June 1st, all in favor say yes. All opposed say no. It was then moved by Boost and seconded by Avens to adopt T67 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5953-2022.
T69.
T69-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement to amend a memorandum of ground lease agreement with PMJ Park Holdings LLC.
President,
Yes, Mr.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Avens and seconded by Swing to adopt T69. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Havens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Haywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously and becomes ordinance number 5954-2022.
For meeting announcements, there will be a public hearing held on Monday, June 6th at 6:30 p.m. here in City Council chambers regarding T57 and T58. The next regular council meeting will be held on Monday, June 6th, 7 p.m. also here in City Council chambers. It's time. Do any of the council members or administration have any final comments or questions?
Chair, I do actually want to make one more comment. Through May 23rd, there is a comment period on our Chestnut Ridge and State Route 83 roundabout. So if there's anybody in the community that would like to comment on the project, there's forms available here at City Hall. They're available on our website. They're also available at the North Ridgeville Public Library. So if anybody wants to make a comment on the project, you may do so and submit those forms to me. My email address is on those forms here at City Hall. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you. Any other final comments or questions? Hearing Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, folks.